the greatest challenge of my career was recognizing that it's a human profession. Because for me, it's like, I want to do this, I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to figure out a way to make it work. Most people can't actually do that. Like most people, are like, well, I want to lose weight. Oh man, but I want to go on a date on Friday, and I want to have some pizza, and I want to do this, and it's hard. It's really hard for people to sometimes become truly aligned. And I've always had an easy time just being aligned. Like that's what I value, so that's what I'm going to do. And I don't care if that means I have to sacrifice other things. Not everyone could do that. And that really, really annoyed me, 10, 12, 15 years ago. I was like, you want to lose weight, but you're eating fast food all the time, dude. Like, stop. Just don't. But I really crave it. And I'd pull my hair out. And I was like, it's not hard, just don't. And I didn't realize at the time how much emotion goes into things. And I had no emotional intelligence at the time. Like, I didn't even realize I had emotions at the time because everything was just logic. Like, why are you crying? That's a waste of time. And now I'm, much more, you know, mature, evolved, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm actually really inspired to work with those folks now.
Was that like an intentional learning where you recognized, okay, I need to figure this shit out because it's not working. Like I can't tell people just do it because it's what you said you wanted to do. Like what bridged that gap? Was it education? Was it mentors? Was it self-realization? Like how did you get there?
Massive heartbreak. Yeah, I got dumped, and it crushed my soul. Like it destroyed me. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait, what the hell am I feeling? And I was like, this is so weird. And it just shook me for like a year, year and a half. And like I read everything I could on communication and conversations, and I read everything I could on, just relationships and emotions. And James gave me a great book, emotional healing. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but it was a great book. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is some serious stuff. And then that's when I started working with some mentors with regards to the emotional side of things. And I have now what I guess you would call cognitive empathy, which means I can see something is wrong, but I can't feel what you're feeling. Like if your dog died, I would be like, oh man, I get why you're sad. Your dog died, but I wouldn't actually feel sad, right? Whereas like some people are very empathetic and they're like, oh, they'll cry with you. If you cry, I cry, kind of thing. I don't really possess that, but I finally learned how to be like, oh yeah, you're having a bad day. I totally get it. Like, let's talk about that. And so the catalyst was just a massive heartbreak. It was, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But I think that was great because it elevated my coaching. It was no longer about program design and writing, tens of thousands of programs and collecting data. It was like, okay, this data matters, but so does your mind state. So does your emotions. Like how you approach things in life in your own head completely changes the game for how you actually evolve and adapt to the stressors in your life.
What would your advice be to like coaches watching and they were who you were back then and you were like I don't get it. I can't connect the dots. I can't even be sympathetic to what you're feeling or whatever that is and they're pushing their own narrative on all of their clients. What would your advice be to those coaches to shift that mindset around a bit?
Don't shift anything, don't change anything. Just start to notice. So, one of the things that was challenged upon me or was given to me as a challenge was whatever you say, whatever you say, afterwards, reflect on it and ask, was that my benefit or was that for theirs? So it wasn't a matter of like, well, I'm going to explain stuff because I could go deep into the entire Krebs cycle and then the entire electron transport chain, and I can tell you what each step is happening, and I can write out the chemical equations, and I could do that to clients. And there was a point in time that I did. I was trying to explain, well, we have to do this because of this and because of this, and then this ATP comes over here, and it was like, whew. So I started to just ask myself, well, did I say that to make myself feel good, or did I say that because they really needed to hear that? And I noticed at first it was all about me. It was all about making myself feel good, and it was my ego. And then over time, I was like, well, I'm about to say this thing, but I realize it's for my ego. Do I really need to say it? No, I don't, because I already know what I know, and they don't need to know that I know all these things. Hey, chew your food, and that's all I would say. So really, don't change anything. Just reflect on why you do that after the consult is over. Just sit back and be like, why did I tell that client this thing? Why did I get angry at that? What was that about? And then just start to notice those patterns. And over time, if you really start to realize, like, oh, I said that because that made myself feel good. Over time, you'll just learn. Oh, I don't really have to say that. Like that's just to make me feel good, and that doesn't help the client out. And then remember the outcome you seek. The book Crucial Conversations is phenomenal for that. If you remember the outcome you seek, then everything you do in consultation, coaching, conversation, whatever, everything should align with that outcome. So if my outcome is the outcome I seek is the outcome clients seek, which is kind of what precision nutrition says, like outcome-based decision making. What's the outcome that I want? Well, it's whatever they're paying me for. And if you're paying me to lose weight, then that's what I want to help you with. Now, if there's things in the way of that, maybe I have to bring those things up, like your behaviors, your emotions, or your thought process, but it has to align with the outcome they seek. And so I always ask myself and reflect on that, like, well, what do they want? What are their values? What are they seeking? Okay, let's start to make sure whatever I say, do, whatever is aligned with that.